If you like the T-Rex, you're going to like the Carnotaurus. It was featured in Disney's Dinosaur from 2000, and it was in one of the Jurassic World movies, I forget. It's a really cool version. It's another theropod, but we're going to go over how to draw the head. I'm going to show you really quickly how to break it down so that you can draw it pretty easily as well, and I'll do like a render of it, so stay along, and at the very end, hopefully you'll learn something by the end of this. So, Carnotaurus. When you're thinking of something like the T-Rex in general, the T-Rex has a little bit of a longer snout, but Carnotaurus is a little bit different. It's got a flatter head. So, for example, like if I was to think of the simple shapes of Carnotaurus, we're gonna like use this action figure as a reference. He's got a very, very compressed head. So his head kind of looks like, I don't know, like a sandworm or something like that. So if I was to simplify his head, it would be kind of that simple shape right here. And then on the bottom of that, his lower jaw is pretty tiny, I would say. So his eye would be somewhere around here, right? And he's got this awesome horn. They think they might have had like longer horns covering that, but that's kind of what they found so far. I believe also Carnotaurus is one of the most complete skeletons they've ever found, which is awesome to say. So they know a lot about it. I think they haven't found that many. I think they found one, right? Like almost complete skeleton, as far as I know. And then you have the lizard neck. Again, biggest mistake I see with drawing dinosaurs, especially raptors and T-Rexes and any of that, would be the fact that they kind of shortcut this area right here. They don't put this neck portion. All they do is put like the face and then boom, this like straight down. But there's actually like a little bit more skull back here and more going on, right? Think of modern day lizards, and that's kind of what we do. We think of comparative anatomy, and that's kind of where the Carnotaurus, where we get a lot of that information from. But think of this simple shape first, okay? And that's going to be, a step one, a big portion of it. So let's just start our, version of that. So if I was to open it up, we're going to draw a little bit bigger. I would end up kind of, I want to make it a little bit bigger because I want to show you kind of the cool factor of this dinosaur. Carnotaurus is my favorite dinosaur. I love it. I think it's great. I had to pick something other than the T-Rex because the T-Rex was a little bit too popular. So when people ask me, I just say Carnotaurus because I think it's really cool looking, and I dig the spikes on its head. I think the spikes on its head is awesome. Awesome stuff. So again, I'm starting with that curve like we're talking about here. And I'm thinking of that kind of cool horn it has along that area. And line over here. I'm already drawing in a little bit of texture on the horns, right? Because I'm thinking of the differences in the horn as opposed to, the texture of the skin, which we'll get to more of that. And then he's got the back portion, right, of the neck. It's going to kind of swoop down and go into the body over in this area, but we're not going to do that. We're thinking about the head in general. Kind of pulling down over here. I want that open mouth. I do want him to, like, be roaring or at least opening his mouth, ready to eat something or ready to catch something. So I will kind of open his mouth. One fact what I heard about him is that his bite force wasn't very strong. It was more like a comparative, maybe like the hyena in the jungle or something like that. As far as like I believe hierarchy, it was more quick, like cheetah. And let me know, by the way, if you know any dinosaur facts. Write them into the comments section. I'd love to hear it. Back of the jaw, right here. And so, like, because we know the fossils and stuff like that, we know, like, imprints, there's definitely some creative liberties. So you can kind of, like, add a little bit more. It's not too crazy because, again, we do have, here's going to be a throat, we do have comparative anatomy, meaning we do have, hundreds of years of, other reptiles, and there's so much that we have that, you know, that gives us a good idea. It's not like you're totally lost, right? We do have a lot of information that we put in there. Also, bones have areas of the bone that show where the muscle insertions probably went, where the muscles went. So we know that. So that's what I mean. Like, we have a very good idea of stuff. So this is kind of that general head shape. I like it so far. It's not like that Carnotaurus from the Disney movie. Do you know what I'm talking about? The dinosaur movie I mentioned in the beginning. That Carnotaurus was huge, and I believe clearly trying to model after the T-Rex. Draw a couple lines over here. I am using a brush pen, which makes things a little bit, I would say a little bit quicker, not too much quicker, because it is harder to get more precise lines with this, but it is, I would say, it gives it like a stylish look that I appreciate. Okay, the eye is going to be all up in this region right here. So a line over here, it's going to be high up, pulling up over here. Right there, we got that eye. Could be a little bit higher, but you know what? Good enough. Curved line around this, on that side. Nostril is going to be the front. I probably could have flattened out the front of the nose a little bit more. I could have, but it's fine. The nostril right there, usually at the front of the nose. People like to draw it way back here. It's not like a Spinosaur, because Spinosaurs were probably aquatic. They probably had theirs further back for functionality. Line, line, line. Grow ready, and that's not so much texture as much as kind of like showing the planes of the surface of that. And by that I mean, I want somebody to. So, okay, let me give you an example of the surface, okay? Just so you understand it. So, let's just say you have this shape right here. For all I know, that's totally smooth, right? But then let's just say another shape right here, which is the same shape, but this time we have a little bit of shape dug into it. So you're telling the viewer that there's a little bit of a dip in there, as opposed to here it's totally clean. So when we draw dips and stuff like that, you're revealing the surface of what you're doing to the viewer, and I think that's incredibly powerful and important. So just kind of remember that. All right, let's go over here now, and we're gonna go into the teeth really quick and draw the teeth. You want to vary up the size of the teeth, but nothing too wild, you know? Nothing too wild. Just vary it up a bit. Like, there is variety in kind of those teeth right there, but not like a ton. Not so much that it's going to be like one giant one or something like that. Because some people take that, I think, that concept too far, personally. I'm like, come on, do you really need to do it like that? Going over here, probably, again, surface, right? Throwing some lines into surface as well. Circle of the eye. They definitely probably did not have slit pupils or anything like that, because they were pretty large. Large animals generally have like round eyes. If you think of like a tiger or a lion or something like that, big predators tend to have big eyes like that. It's usually the smaller predators that are closer to the ground. Think of something like a snake, like at least some versions of snakes. When they're closer to the ground, it's so they can look up. That's really the function of the slit pupil. And now we're gonna kind of like I said over here, I want to go over here, and we want to give the surface some, you know, character, right? Some surface, some changing in form. I think, dang, my pen here, I gotta squeeze it a little bit because I want to get more ink out of it. I think, there you go, it's coming out a little bit more. I think it was shortcutting me a little bit of ink, so I don't want to have to press down so hard. And now over here, you kind of make a decision, okay? Over here, you could draw the top. Like, you gotta draw the back row of teeth somewhere. You can draw both, but I think what looks better is if you draw one. So I'm gonna pick the bottom really quick, and over here I will draw a tongue in there. And maybe the back of the skin over here on this side. A little bit of teeth sticking up the back. Because as you turn the head, right? Let's just take... This guy's too small, but let me take a this mosasaur right here. So if you see this, let me see if I can see it on the camera. So if you see it on the camera, it can be even, but if he's... I think that's even to the camera, right? I think it's even to the camera. You could, as I turn it, you're looking, see how you can see a little bit underneath his jaw, right there? And then you can also see in the mouth of the top only, but the bottom inside disappears. But if you turn it this way, like he's leaning against us, see that's different? Now you see the bottom, right? And then the top inside disappears. So usually you're picking one, and that's kind of what I decided to do there, is to pick one. So I picked, you're kind of seeing the back here of the bottom, so, because why not? It just kind of depends on the pose of what you're doing. Alright, we're getting some more ink over here. Going a little bit more detailed right now. Now I want to start pulling out some of these scales, just a bit, not a lot, because a lot's too much. A lot would be way too much. There you go. Pulling out some more darks. Now we're getting a little bit more into just rendering as far as drawing goes. Don't forget to hit the like, by the way. I appreciate it. I want to do these every day if possible, but I only got to do them, I think, 3 days in a row this week. Oh, well, not in a row. I think I did 2 days in a row, and then I missed the weekend, but I'd love to do something like give me a topic, right? I'd like to do just head drawings though, because I can explain a lot more, easier. You know, that would be the preference. I did Godzilla and a T-Rex. I'm probably gonna pick Rodan or something like that for the next one. I'd like to stay with monsters for now, and I'll go to humans in a bit. I want to see the horn right there. I want to make sure that's attached to the head, so I might draw some area right here where it looks like it's starting to attach into the skull, usually with skin pressed around it. That's a really big thing to make it look organic. It's quite important to do that, organicness. Alright. There we go. Cool. Alrighty, again, going over here. This skin, actually, I don't remember what this is called, this skin. If you know what it is, put it in the comments. I can't Google right now as we're talking, so, but let me know. I want to know, what is this skin right here? Lizards have it, dinosaurs probably had it, and then, you know, they draw it on Godzilla, they draw it on a lot of... It just looks cool. It looks cool, and obviously there's a purpose for it, so I don't know what that is, but if you can put that in the comments for me, I will be very grateful, and I will appreciate it. Going over here, drawing some deeper grooves in the side right there. Also, the grooves kind of look a little bit like the folding, right? Making it look more organic, or giving it more of a texture, right? Textured armor. Think of something like maybe a crocodile. Alright. Now we step back, and I'm thinking, alright, got a little dark, got some darks over here. It's pretty good, to be honest, and it's pretty good for a sketch. So, we could leave it as is, but let's take it a little bit more, and then we'll let it go. Right? Hopefully you learned something. If you did, leave that thumbs up. Also check out the main website. I might have already put a little thing for it, but the website is my bread and butter. I'm going to put a bunch of free stuff on there. I have a free how to draw Godzilla tutorial there, like the head drawing at least. There's like a printout you can do for that, so all of that stuff. There's a lot of free downloads. I have a head drawing lesson that I am currently working on. It's out already. There's a soft launch, so you can download it if you need it. But right now I've been busy. I've been working on a comic with everybody else. I'm selling the previous year's comic. We do an anthology every single year. So one of them is I think it's always sci-fi-esque related. This time's gonna be noir. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. And I'm working on one right now with 7 other talented artists, and so I'm pretty happy about that whole thing. So I'm trying to control real quick, and then I'll let you go. I am trying to control, like, so it doesn't look too much like chicken pox or something. I'm trying to change the shape of some of these. So some of them I connect together, right? Some I don't. Right? So I'm trying to a little bit randomize them. I didn't want to put that many to begin with, but I ended up putting a bunch. Alrighty. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. I appreciate it. You are amazing, and I'll see you in the next video, right? Hopefully I'll see you next time. Talk to you soon. Okay, so that was amazing. You finished this lesson, but keep it going. Keep the art practice going by clicking this video right here. It's going to be within the same theme, and you want to keep it rolling to get better and better and better and get that art flow going. So click right here.